Hi everyone, and welcome to our little remembrance for Sabrina Santiago. I'm filming in my car. I've somehow figured out how to make my car its own tripod, and the sun isn't out. I want to film this outside, but it kind of is raining, so we're doing a second best and, doing it in the car in the dark. But anyway, I was thinking probably one of the best ways to do this, besides going back to all the videos, which nobody has time to do, I would just pull up the Sabrina wiki and talk about some of the storylines, pretty much maybe all of them, since she was only on the show for such a short period of time, R.I.P. Sabrina, and we could just remember Sabrina as she was. So let's reminisce about our glasses-wearing, curly-haired Sabrina that originally graced our screens, I believe, in 2012. The one thing about Sabrina that I kind of didn't like they did was the whole, the magical transformation of taking off her glasses and suddenly she's this beautiful butterfly, because, as someone who wears glasses, those kind of aren't my favorite things, because, not everyone who has glasses aspires to not wear them, but that's really besides the point. And I like Sabrina so much, I looked past that. So that should tell you how much I love this character. So her little crush on Patrick and the Brit triangle, remember that? Remember the whole Brit thing? And that she would babysit Emma, and that's how they bonded. And I think those were some of the cutest scenes, to be quite honest with you. And how Sabrina was the person to bring back the nurses' ball and really got that whole ball rolling. And it's really, they've done the nurses' ball every year since then. So, I feel like the next nurses' ball, we will still feel the effects of Sabrina, and Sabrina will still kind of be there in spirit, because she's pretty much the one who resurrected it. Obviously, she couldn't have done it without Felix, Lucy Coe, and then the support of the hospital. But I mean, let's face it, Sabrina was the one who kept things going, and I feel like I didn't appreciate her as much as I should have back in the day. And let's see, what else do we got here? And then how Patrick and Sabrina did get really close. And let me read some more. Oh, here's something I forgot. When Britt wanted to get back at Sabrina and led Sabrina to believe she had given a patient the wrong medicine and killed that patient, which nearly got her kicked out of the nursing program, I had totally forgotten that had happened. And then how she was accused of cheating on her nursing exam, but, Epiphany kind of saves the day on that one. Oh my goodness. And then how Sabrina and Patrick did finally get together, and the rest of that is kind of history, right? Basically, as I'm reading over the history of Sabrina, I keep seeing Sabrina and Felix, Sabrina and Felix, Sabrina and Felix do this, Sabrina and Felix do that, and I'm like, oh my god, we're never going to have that again. Like, Sabrina and Felix team up to disprove Britt's paternity claim, and Felix and Sabrina team up for this, and it's slowly sinking in. And I'd forgotten that she had gone on a date with Milo because she wasn't going to wait for Patrick, and then Patrick's like, oh, I need to tell Sabrina I like her, and it's just... Oh, Britt. They need to bring Britt back. Like, they don't have Nicholas. Nicholas isn't back, so he's not gonna, press charges against her. And Spencer, Spencer really did like her. I'd say Britt and Hayden just raised Spencer as their own child. I am on board for that. Oh my goodness. So then when Carla shows up and kind of throws that wrench into Sabrina's life, am I right? And then the whole Sabrina and Patrick wedding debacle that Robin crashed, rightfully. But my whole issue with the whole Sabrina and Patrick storyline was that the whole time us, the audience, knew Robin was alive, which I feel like if they knew they were going to try to pair Patrick with someone else in the meantime, they shouldn't have done that, because it was always hard to root for Sabrina and Patrick as much as I kind of wanted to. I like both the characters. They seemed happy. Emma loved her. I couldn't, because I knew Robin was out there. Did you struggle with something similar? Like, I really wanted to... I mean, don't get me wrong, Patrick and Robin are like my main, I love them, nothing will ever stop me. They're like my number one, pretty much, and always will be now that they've left the show. But you know, it was hard to root for Patrick with someone else, even when he was with Sam, because we knew Robin was being held against her will. But I never felt that was fair to Sabrina, and I think pretty much almost the whole time she's been on the show, they've never really been fair with her when it came to love and storylines, because, you know, we didn't want to see her with Carlos, because, you know, they were like, that just did not seem good. You know, her and Patrick, we couldn't really root for that, and then what else? Well, her and Michael. I still, that just seemed, I don't know, a little out of left field, but then I, like, got to like it, but not that much. But, well, no, I mean, not anymore. Not that much. So then, again, what they did to poor Sabrina, when she found out she was pregnant with Patrick's child, and, she, like, didn't want to be a Brit, but at the same time, she actually, you know, was pregnant with his child, and, you know, just them taking Gabriel from Sabrina like that. Again, I don't think it was fair to the character at all. You know, I especially, well, I don't know. I mean, I guess they didn't want to complicate Scrubs, but at the same time, like, there was really no need to take Gabriel off the table. Like, I keep saying, like, especially knowing, but, like, now that Sabrina's gone, let's say Gabriel would have stayed with her, and, like, you know, when Patrick moved away, they would have figured something out. But now Gabriel could have gone to live with Patrick and Robin, and, you know, now Sabrina's gone, and that, like, would have achieved the same thing now that they achieved by just killing the poor character who didn't even get a chance. Yeah, and that whole thing was a hot mess. And let's not forget that Sabrina was brought on as another character's cousin, or it said in here, like, adoptive cousin, but they never really touched on that, except with a few. I think he had showed up once or twice, and then they mentioned it a few times, but they don't really, like, tie her in. I don't know. The whole thing was kind of like, oh, here's this character who's related to this character. We won't mention him ever again, and there you go. And that, I don't know. Now that I like look over this and I'm, like, talking about her, I realize, like, how much Sabrina got the short end of the stick in a lot of ways. And I wish she could have had a longer run, because I feel like she was finally coming into her own. You know, she has Teddy, she had a stable relationship with Michael. I mean, either way, I feel like if you like them or you don't like them, it's still, like, it's a stable relationship. And, you know, no matter, maybe they would have gotten divorced, maybe they wouldn't have ever gotten married, who knows where it would have gone. But, like, she had finally matured as a character, and then they just took her away, and it's just like, and then that whole, you know, Rafe had run them on the road, and Ava was involved, and then what she did to Ava by giving her the wrong medication, and what would eventually lead to her getting fired from the hospital. I think at the time, with the mental state Sabrina was in, it made sense for the character, but if you look over it, like, overall, that was very, like, out of character for her, and had those very specific circumstances not happen, she would have never done anything like that, which it probably wouldn't have come up anyway. And then the whole thing where Michael was going to build that new clinic, which never went anywhere, and that she was going to be involved in that. And that could have been a cool thing. I think they were dealing with that whole Levi stuff, so they were more focused on that. But I would have loved to see that clinic built. They kind of did the whole waterfront thing with Kiki and Morgan living in that brownstone, remember? And then didn't go anywhere with it. Like, it disappeared. A lot with Dylan's movie. I think that's just an issue overall I've had with General Hospital in the past year or year and a half or 2 years, is that they start off these storylines and then they're just like, never mind. Brad and Rosita? Was that her name? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I can't remember. It's been that long since I saw her, with that whole marriage and we can't get divorced because of this. Like, I mean, I know new writers came up, but that was even dropped before the new writers came up, I believe. And now Sabrina, you know, has Teddy, you know, that whole drama with it in the beginning, but finally getting cleared up and finally maturing as a character. You know, she finally came into her own, and they took her away. I don't disagree with that. Like, I see why they did it, because it obviously did hit hard. I haven't done an in memoriam for a character like ever. Like, it obviously hit really, really hard, which was the point. But could it have been someone different and hit just as hard? Maybe kill Michael Easton off again. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Bad idea. Obviously they couldn't kill Elizabeth off. She's too establishment in there. Monica, again, too establishment, wouldn't have gone over well at all. But so I guess when you look at it, it had to be her. But I don't know. I'm still processing this whole Paul is the hospital killer thing. And maybe when we learn more of his motivation, the whole thing will make a little bit more sense. But I think I might have hit upon everything I want to hit upon. I didn't exactly make notes or anything like this. I just kind of go through this very, as you can tell, just off the cuff. And, Sabrina. But I feel like there was still question as to Teddy's true paternity, or at least people were trying to make it, maybe rewrite history a little bit, because as I'm reading it, Sabrina learned she's pregnant with Michael's child. The relationship ended when Michael learned that Carlos was the baby's father. But, like, that doesn't make sense right there. Maybe that's just the editor's thing. But maybe run one more case, because Joe's going to fight for custody. And I think Tracy might have a case because she was a legal guardian at one point. And so we'll see. But I think another paternity test should definitely be done in light of everything that's happened. Just because why not? You're going to start a custody agreement. Why not have a new paternity test done? Just makes sense to me. I mean, he's named after a Quartermain anyway. Why not? And who knows, that might help in the custody too, because it'd be like, look, Sabrina thought so highly of the Quartermain, she named her son after a Quartermain. So, there's that whole thing. Alright, so I think I'm going to wrap this up. And I miss Sabrina. I miss Felix and Sabrina. Can they just do a whole video of just clips, a whole episode of just clips? Because I'm going to miss her. I don't think I realized what an effect she had on Port Charles, but at least, with Sabrina gone, does this mean they're not going to play the whole You're Not Alone song anymore? Because, just a question. No shade, just a question. Because every time that song plays, nothing good happens. And I was really, really thinking, it's going to play at her funeral. It's going to play at her funeral. I'm calling it right now. That song is going to play at her funeral, the You're Not Alone song. And then will we ever hear it again? I don't know, because first time we heard it was with Gabriel, and the last time we're going to hear it at Sabrina's funeral. I think that would really full circle it. That's like Sabrina's song, okay? Alright, I'm really going to wrap it up now. I hope I will see you actually probably tonight from More General Hospital, since, I kind of had a much more fun-filled weekend than I had planned. I met a famous rapper randomly. Who would have thunk it? I didn't wake up Saturday thinking, I'm going to meet 50 Cent today. But I met 50 Cent. So what are you going to do? But anyway, thank you so much for watching. And I will see you tonight for More General Hospital. Bye.